The day I caught Linda Harper, the president of our homeowners association, sneaking into my house with her master key, my world turned upside down. It was a sweltering July afternoon in 2024, the kind of heat that makes the air feel like it's clinging to your skin. I was pulling into the driveway of our home in Twilight Grove, a quiet suburban enclave in upstate New York, with my son Ethan in the passenger seat. He was 17, engrossed in his phone, probably debugging some app he'd been coding for weeks. We'd just come from his dental checkup, a routine that always left me lighter in the wallet and him quieter than usual. As I cut the engine, I saw Linda Harper, in a garish emerald blazer that screamed authority, fiddling with a key at our front door. The lock clicked, but before she could push it open, Ethan was there, his lanky frame blocking her path. "Mrs. Harper," he said, his voice steady but sharp, "try that key again," and the system emails every neighbor a live alert. I stepped onto the porch, arms crossed, standing behind him where the doorbell camera could catch me. Linda's hand froze, the key dangling like a guilty secret. She yanked it back, her face a mix of surprise and irritation, and shut the door with a deliberate softness that made my skin crawl. She adjusted the tacky silver badge on her lapel, the official seal of the Twilight Grove Homeowners Association, and sauntered down the path, as if she'd been doing me a favor. I was out of the car before the seatbelt fully retracted, gravel crunching under my boots. According to her latest notice, I was 2 days late trimming the hedges. "Linda," I called, keeping my tone even despite the fury bubbling inside. She stopped, one sensible heel hovering over the sidewalk, and turned with a smile that didn't reach her cold, flinty eyes. "James." "Hi," she chirped, her voice too bright. "Just checking your door, it looked a bit off. Safety first, you know." My door was solid maple, as secure as a vault. "Safety check, my foot." Ethan climbed out of the car, his expression unreadable, watching her like a hawk. "It's in the bylaws, James," Linda continued, her smile tightening. Section B, paragraph 5. "The HOA president has a master key for emergencies and compliance checks. I was just ensuring your home's secure." She said, "Your home," like it was her property to manage. I shoved my hands in my pockets to keep from balling them into fists. This wasn't the first oddity. Small things, like a book moved from the shelf or a drawer left ajar, had been happening for months, making me question my sanity. Now, here she was, bold as daylight, practically admitting she'd been inside. "So, you entered my house without permission, without notice, and without an emergency," I said, letting the words hang heavy in the humid air. Her smile faltered, her voice turning sharp. "It was a potential security issue. I fixed it. You're welcome." She gave a curt nod and walked off, leaving me standing in my own driveway, rage burning through me. Ethan stared at the door, his jaw tight. His safe haven had been violated. That was the moment I knew this wasn't just about petty rules, it was about a predator staking claim to our home. What I didn't know was that Ethan, my quiet, brilliant son, was already crafting a plan to take her down, one so cunning it would make her regret ever crossing us. Moving to Twilight Grove was my idea fresh start after my wife, Sarah, passed away 3 years ago. The city was too loud, too full of memories that cut like glass. Ethan, barely 14 then, had retreated into his world of code, finding comfort in the logic of ones and zeros. I thought a place like Twilight Grove, with its manicured lawns and promises of community, would give him a chance to feel safe again. The brochure painted a utopia, smiling families, a serene pond, and an HOA dedicated to keeping everything perfect. Our realtor called Linda Harper passionately involved. In hindsight, that was a polite way of saying she was a control freak with a vendetta. The first few months were fine. I learned the absurdly specific rules about mailbox colors, and Ethan seemed to settle in, even befriending a kid who shared his love for tech. But then the notices started piling. A poor grass was a half-inch too long. A wind chime Sarah loved was visually disruptive. Each came with a fine and a veiled threat. I paid up, moved the chime, and kept my head down, thinking it was the cost of living in paradise. But Linda's radar was relentless, designed to catch any hint of rebellion. At HOA meetings, she'd stand at the community center podium, her voice dripping with authority as she shamed residents for minor infractions. She knew everyone's secrets who was struggling financially, who was fighting with their spouse and used them like weapons. The master key was her ultimate tool, meant for emergencies like floods, but wielded as a pass to invade our lives. Neighbors whispered about it. My next-door neighbor, Mrs. Ellison, once told me she found her late husband's watch moved from its box. But there was never proof, just a creeping dread that Linda had been in your home, touching your things. My best friend, Mike, thought I was overreacting. She's just an HOA nut, not a mastermind, he said over beers one night. Get a regulation wind chime and move on. He didn't live here, didn't see the fear in people's eyes when Linda's SUV cruised by. That day in the driveway changed everything. Over dinner, Ethan broke the silence. She can't do that, can she, Dad? He asked, pushing his pasta around. Legally, no. Morally, hell no, I said. But she runs the board. It's her word against ours without proof. His eyes sparked with something new, anger, not fear. What are we doing about it? He asked. I mentioned new locks, maybe a camera. He shook his head. A camera just tells her we're watching. She'll get sneakier. He was right. We needed more than a warning sign, we needed a trap. That night, I heard his keyboard clicking late into the night. He wasn't browsing. He was building a weapon. A week later, a crisp letter arrived from the HOA's design committee, chaired by Linda, declaring my backyard solar lights hidden from view violated a new aesthetic standard passed in a secret meeting. Remove them in 7 days or face $150 daily fines. It was a power play, retaliation for challenging her. Ethan read the letter, his face calm but intense. She's not stopping, Dad. This isn't about lights. It's about control. He turned his laptop toward me, showing a mock-up of a professional-looking login page for the Twilight Grove Security Hub. It was sleek, official, the kind of thing Linda would drool over. It's a cage, Ethan said, his voice electric. A camera is a deterrent. This is a trap. His plan was audacious. Install dummy cameras and a smart lock. Announce at the next HOA meeting that I'd set up a state-of-the-art security system and offer Linda admin access to monitor the neighborhood. The portal was a fake, a digital mirage logging every click, keystroke, and move she made. She'd think she was spying on us, but we'd be watching her. It was brilliant, risky, and borderline crazy. I looked at Ethan's determined face and knew we were all in. The next 2 weeks were a covert mission. Our garage became a war room. I bought cheap dummy cameras with blinking lights, mounting them conspicuously. Ethan swapped our deadbolt for a smart lock, the heart of his trap. He coded relentlessly, crafting a portal with irresistible features, a fake resident database, incident reports, and a map of dummy camera feeds showing looped street footage. Mike visited, took one look at the setup, and laughed. You're building a fake spy network to spy on her spying? This is nuts. He wasn't wrong, but he wanted a front-row seat. The night before the HOA meeting, Ethan showed me the back-ended dashboard tracking Linda's every move. We tested it. It was flawless. At the meeting, I played my part, standing up shakily. Linda, about those solar lights, I want to be a good neighbor. I've installed a new security system and want to offer you, as president, admin access to keep our community safe. The room murmured. Linda, stunned, accepted with a smug smile, thinking she'd won. Back home, Ethan's phone pinged. She'd created her login. The trap was set. For days, we watched her explore the portal, clicking fake feeds, drunk on power. Then she escalated, using a fake photo Ethan planted to find Mr. Peterson for a non-existent garage extension. The neighborhood buzzed. Some blamed me for giving her this tool. Guilt gnawed at me, but Ethan insisted we needed more. Then came her checkmate, a letter announcing a safety inspection of our house in 3 days, based on an anonymous tip from her portal about structural hazards. She'd enter at 9 a.m., assuming we'd be gone. Ethan grinned. Perfect. I'm upgrading the streaming protocol. He'd added a nuclear option, a button to broadcast live footage from hidden micro cameras to every neighbor's email. Wednesday morning, we hid at Mike's, 3 blocks away, watching via Hank's Wi-Fi. At 9 a.m. sharp, Linda marched up, key in hand, and entered. She sneered at our photos, scribbled fake violations, then froze as the smart lock chirped, speakers rumbled, and a synthetic voice demanded credentials. She panicked, snapping photos of our router, thinking it was evidence. Ethan's diversion's ice maker pops. Doorbell sirens rattled her further. Then she connected her laptop to our Wi-Fi, the real trap. A chat with R. Kane revealed she was stealing data for a burglary ring. Worse, she planted white powder on our coffee table, snapping a photo to email the police, framing me for drugs. My blood boiled, but Ethan stayed calm. "We've got her," he said. "The cameras caught everything. Chats, planting, the email. It was a felony jackpot." That night, at the 6 p.m. HOA meeting, Linda glowed with confidence, ready to condemn me. I stood, heart pounding. "Linda, I have a presentation about community safety." Ethan hit the button. Every phone buzzed with an email titled, "A message from your HOA president." Gasps filled the room as neighbors watched Linda's crimes unfold. Her face drained of color. As she stared at her phone, police burst in, arresting her for breaking and entering, conspiracy, and false reporting. A detective approached me, impressed. "Your son's work is pro-level. He took down a burglary ring hitting 4 counties. He offered Ethan a paid cybercrime internship." My shy son was now a hero, his trap exposing a monster. Walking home, I looked at Ethan, beaming as he explained code to an officer. Our home was safe, and a new future awaited him. But as we celebrated, questions lingered. Had we gone too far? Was our deception justice or revenge? Should we have stopped at exposing her trespassing, or was dismantling her empire worth the collateral damage? What do you think? Did we cross a line, or was this the only way to stop a predator like Linda? Should Ethan take the internship, or is it too risky to dive deeper into this world? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit like if you felt the thrill, and subscribe for more stories that keep you on edge.